Okay, what's up, guys? I thought I would jump on and give you some of my favorite side hustles, all right? And in particular, in this video, I'm gonna give you three side hustles that are ideal for a 4-hour work week. Now, I don't know if you read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And the whole idea behind it is to do something that brings you money but doesn't take up all of your time, right? So that you're not having to spend 70 hours or 100 hours working, uh, slaving away on something in order to have a side hustle. And so this is perfect for you, like if you work a traditional, maybe corporate job, which requires a lot of time. Let's face it, guys, like it's not easy to do a side hustle and actually make money with it when you have like a corporate full-time job, because if you want to do a good job, you really got to spend time on your job and do what's required. So that's why you, at the end of the day, it's really hard to combine that with a lot of other business side hustles that are out there that require a lot of time. So that's where like these side hustles that I have for you here today, this list of three, these are perfect for a 4-hour work week, because you can pretty much just do them like one day a week on the weekend. Like on a Saturday afternoon, you hunker down in the basement and you knock these out, and you knock out like 4 hours of work. Your side hustle is humming along and you're getting customers and it's actually working. So you can spend the rest of your time actually on your full-time job, or if you're doing some other business or some other gigs to make money. These side hustles here will help you because they don't require a lot of your individual one-on-one time. So the first of these, number one, is selling info products online. Now, I don't know if you know what info products are, but info products are basically like information products. So there are things like books, ebooks, courses, membership sites, and other types of products like that, like maybe like an audio program, a downloadable, some kind of thing where you don't have to do any work after you sell the product. Somebody comes to your website, they buy like an ebook, which they can download as a PDF, an EPUB format, or it's a course and they can download it, or they can log into like an access area. They can access the course. And you can, for an info product, you can charge anywhere from say like $5 on the low end for like a really small book or booklet, to as much as $500, $1,000, $2,000 or more for like a course or some kind of membership. So selling info products is a great model because you're not having to like do some type of manual labor on an ongoing basis after you've sold the info product. So if you do it right, you can afford to spend just 4 hours a week, literally 4 hours on a Sunday or a Saturday, when you're back home lazing away, and you actually just spend a bit of time to maintain your course or to market the info product, to talk with your info product buyers and make sure they got the products that they are liking the experience, and to actually market and get more customers and more buyers of your info products. And that can be done like 4 hours a week. So that's why that's a perfect side hustle for a 4-hour work week. Now let's move on to number two. Side hustle number two that's perfect for a 4-hour work week is doing SaaS. Now, SaaS is software as a service. So with software as a service, what you do is you build a software. You don't have to build it yourself. I actually recommend that where possible, you should try to hire like somebody that maybe is overseas, is a software developer, but you can hire them more cheaply than you might be able to hire out your own labor, right? So you outsource that work. You hire the developer and they develop the software for you. And now what you do is on your 4 hours a week that you're spending on your side hustle, you're basically going online and you're getting leads, you're promoting the software, you're driving customers to sign up, and you could be using anything like PPC, which is advertising. You could be using something like YouTube traffic. You could be using Facebook groups. Maybe you're posting on Reddit and Quora and Y Combinator, Hacker News, like to get customer sign-ups for your SaaS, right? Now, it does require a bit of work to dial in the product. But once you have all that figured out and you've actually managed to get the build up of the software, managing this whole thing is something that can be done like 4 hours a week on the weekend, and you're not spending all your time. Again, with software, when somebody signs up as a customer, they're not requiring you to do the work for them. Your software that you've already built is what's going to do the customer fulfillment. So if you look at something like Slack, it's a collaboration communication software, and businesses actually pay money every month on that to have a Slack channel where they can collaborate with their team. And the Slack creators, they don't have to do a whole bunch of manual work when they get a new customer. They just give them access and credentials to access the software. Now, obviously, that's no longer a side hustle when you look at something like Slack. But that's the business model that you're going for. It's something where the software does the heavy lifting, and you don't have to do the heavy lifting to fulfill on the service for clients. So that's how the SaaS business model works, and why it's great for a 4-hour work week. And it's one of those business models that can actually scale much, much bigger than, say, info products alone, because with info products, they tend to be kind of more niche, right? Like, you're not going to get an info product hardly ever that 1 million buyers are going to want to buy, because info products tend to be kind of hyper-focused on a particular problem. With the software, you can solve a problem that 20 million or 500 million people have. Like, if you look at Zoom, the calling software, like, they've gotten like a lot of people into that, because basically everyone at some point in their lives has a need to call another person. So that's a product that can scale to like millions and millions of users. And that's where there's a lot more profit potential kind of long term in SaaS than in info products. But info products are still a great thing to do because it's easier to do than a SaaS. A SaaS requires basically a lot of the time, a lot more resources, and a lot more skill. You need to be more skillful in order to make it work. Okay, so that's basically the first two side hustles. Now let's look at the final side hustle that you can do basically on 4 hours a week, and that's to be a drop shipper. Okay, e-commerce drop shipping is where you source products from a supplier. You don't actually handle the products yourself, and then you list them on your e-commerce store, let's say via Shopify or WooCommerce or another shopping software. And then you actually put up the products for sale, and then when people buy the products from your store, instead of shipping the product yourself, you actually order it from the manufacturer or the supplier, and you actually forward it right away to the customer's address. And you're not actually handling the product yourself. You're actually just acting as kind of like a middleman, or kind of like a market matchmaker, where you are matching where the product is with what people are interested in buying. And this is how you get to have like a drop shipping side hustle. And this is great because, for one, you don't have to spend money on inventory. Like, you don't have to buy the products up front. So it saves you a lot of money. And two, you don't have to actually manufacture or prepare the product yourself. So you don't have to know a lot about, like, let's say we are drop shipping shoes. You don't have to like take a course on how to make shoes, manufacture shoes in China or Japan or wherever you're getting your shoes from. Like, all that done for you by the manufacturer or the supplier. So it means you get a fast track to drop shipping and business success without wasting a lot of time on all these other logistics and other things. And again, when you get a customer, you don't have to spend a lot of time. You actually can integrate the software that automates a lot of the process for you. So it's all being done on your store pretty much automatically. And all you have to do is go in and make sure you're managing things maybe on a weekly basis, 2-3 hours a week, and making sure that everybody got their orders. And if there are problems, that's where you jump in and you communicate with customers and you help them out. Like maybe there might be a shipping delay, or you might get like a returned product if some order was wrong or something like that, and that's where now you're required to jump in and troubleshoot and make sure your system is working perfectly. So that's a great 4-hour-a-week side hustle, and those are the entire 3 product-based side hustles. I call them the 3 product-based side hustles, and it's actually a business model. And I'm gonna have some resources where you guys can actually learn how to apply that business model on your own side hustles. But those are the 3 that I would recommend, and I recommend, like, if you haven't read like the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, you definitely should pick up that book. It will educate you a lot more on kind of how to get into these kinds of opportunities where you can have a side hustle that's not taking up all your life, right? And I have some free resources as well. The links will be in the description.